You're not the boss of me. Start when I want to start. 8:15, 8:15, I said. Just put it on in the background. Listen to some music. Why so angry? It's too early to be that angry in the morning. It's just too much. Here, I'll give you the fancy opening. I'm going to pour some coffee. Everyone breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. We'll get there. We'll get there together as a team. All right, so we're good. Alrighty, hold on. Turn that on. Turn it on. Yay, bonding. All right, we're back to the cheap camera. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
All right, guys, bear with me. I got crap everywhere. I want to start with this. I would watch names that are near those year-to-date VWAPs, because if it gets back over those VWAPs, then you're going to see a bounce. Let's start with the ES and what's going on there. I think that's where I could add the most value. And let me just double check something here and move this over. Sorry for starting late. There's just so much going on out there. And trying to get through it all in the morning is just like, it's like a battleground, man. There's just so much going on. If you look at the 4 hour here, you're already oversold. You're literally already oversold. So, you know, if you look at these spots, this is where you tend to bounce. You just have to get going and get flipping in the right direction. But this is where you tend to bounce. So, and for how long, you know, we'll see. I think you have a lot of risk of something just jumped big time. I think you have a lot of risk of how can I say this? Yeah, I don't know why that's there. Give me 1 second. Why is Europe jumping so much? All this stuff's jumping like big time. Europe's like on fire right now, or not Europe, but GGA, all this stuff. I have a bunch of this stuff out there, so that's why I'm just kind of curious. Interesting. So anyway, if I'm to look at how this is all, in my opinion, how this is all setting up, let's go back to the ES. And I'm scattered this morning, so I'll just tell you that ahead of time. So I can just tell my brain. I just have so much going on that when I look at this and try to put it all together, that's why, like, when Batman's sitting there yelling at me, like, why doesn't he start at 8:30? You're not the boss of me. I'm not the boss of me. So if you look at the time here, see how you're sitting right on that level, that Friday, October 10th, right? This is when he came out and said, no chips for you. You're trying to flip that level and you're trying to make that support. Now, whether or not that does become support, we'll see. But that's what they're trying to do. So we'll see if that's successful. Now, I don't think I need that light on. I think we're good. But I think that's super important to remember that area. And then if I overlay that with this, you're turning. If I drop it down like it's hot, the kids still say that, right? I look at the histogram and go to the 4 hour, it's not great. I've seen great before, like that should be flipping colors. It's not. So then that really puts me at, kind of a different space. And so I'll go back to this and we'll go back. It's not really what I want, but you got to respect this area. You have to respect its authority. That's really how I see that. And we'll go from there. Hold on one second. Let me just drop this in so that I know it's done, so that I have it done. If you are on the wait list, I just want to say something. You need to make a decision. When you got the invite, you'll get an invite this week. You need to make a decision because I say 5 days, but the response yesterday was just like so overwhelming. I pretty much in what I thought I'd get in 5 days, I got 24 hours. So I don't know that it's going to go 5 days, but I am going to get everybody, the majority of people that have been on the wait list for months, they are getting an invite. So please be on the lookout for that. And if the link doesn't work to get into the community, just go to the concierge, the email on the concierge. Do not email me. I have someone that reads my emails. I don't even so, and they don't respond to anything like that. It's got to go through the concierge, and that's on everything. And I apologize for the slurping, but it's going to be one of those days. You got to watch this, man. I can't stress that enough. Like, this is everything. You're oversold. This is usually what happens to retail. They don't understand that by the end of the day, by the time they're ready to sell, it's over. And the market is, the cycles are just so much faster now. Say it. Look how fast. Look at it. Look how fast the cycles are now. Like, it's crazy. You don't really get time to think anymore. And you can see from your breakout here on Friday at 8 a.m. how you lifted. Now, the question really becomes, what's the next catalyst? I don't know. Maybe these guys could get it together and open up the government and function. The complete lack, the complete lack of them wanting to open it up is just crazy to me. But whatever. I guess if you're still getting paid, why bother? 680.76. So I think you can get up to there on the DTL side. And then maybe you roll back over again. I don't think the downtrend's over. I think you have a lot of things that are weighing on the market. I don't think those things are going away at all. I really don't. I truly don't think that those things are going away anytime soon. I mean, that's going to be it. Like, that's your big level right there. You got to watch that, like, big time. Yeah. And by the time you get up there, maybe it's the DTL. I don't know. Let's get rid of that because I don't think that's going to help you. You got to watch that. That's big. You actually want to put in a little alert there. You probably want to short there, actually. But that's really how I see that. I got to stand today. Squatting this morning. Jesus, legs are killing me. Leg day's a mofo. All right, if we go and take a look here, similar. Actually, the one that looks the best is really the RTY out of all of them. But down, right? Tries to rally down, goes, I'd rather have the undercuts. And that's the problem, man. When you don't get these undercuts, they come back to haunt you. But this is really the level that you'd want to watch up here. And I think that's your bigger level. And we should go through some names, but I really got to tell you, I don't really see a lot of stuff out there that I have to, rush right into. I'm more concerned about how, there seems to be some delusion with, and I highlighted this to show this, that you do have an island gap reversal and you got to get your head out of it's not a perfect one, but it's there. Because you're still in the box, right? You're still in that box. Hold on a second. I got to mute this. I apologize. And I got to leave it on, or you guys are going to hear music again. So see, like if you broke way below it like this, you'd have a true island reversal gap, and you don't have that, but it's still there, and it's a problem. You do have a trend line. You see it? That's right there. And people are like, I don't like using the wicks. I like using the bodies. And if you get that super tight, you'll see that. Well, that's drawn perfectly poorly, but you get it. It's up there. And I get that, like, okay, there's the level on the Qs and you haven't gotten there. Now, 620 is a huge level on the Qs. So 600, you definitely want to watch those. I don't think that you have to think about anything more than that, but you got to get above 620. 620 is a huge level, and then 600 as well. If I look at the SPY, 670 is still the put wall. People ask me all the time how I calculate that stuff. I have access to two different services that I think are really good. One's very expensive. One's not as expensive. One's only a couple, like maybe 300 or 400 a month, I think. And then I do it myself too. And then I compare them. And then I'll weight them. I have issues. I trust issues. But to me, now they dropped it. I think it's going to drop today because the weighting shifted. So you might want to watch this. You might start dropping down to 640. I don't know if 670 holds if it's tested today. You might want to watch this today. That could break. So you're starting to see way, way more come out at that 640 level. So I'm not going to get into it, but if that goes, that could go today. So I don't know. I'd watch this super carefully and see how this goes. You'd really, really want to watch that and see how that goes and go from there. Like really want to watch that and see, how that plays out. That's what I would do. I don't know that that's going to hold today. I'm just going through the bulk right now. Give me a second. Give me 1 second here. Why are you doing that this morning from where you closed? See how much stock's actually out there. Not a lot. I just moved at 40 cents by selling very little. Okay. Interesting. Didn't take much to move that, did it? So sometimes I'll do that, just test the book, just see what's going on out there. Let's go back to the SPY for a second. I don't know, man. If that goes, 640's on the table. I do think you can bounce, but you've got real issues out here. Like they're buying puts, man. Maybe they're buying puts just for the hedge for the tariffs. This looks like it's a big level. It actually, to me, looks like it's getting weaker and weaker. So I'm going to just go see one more thing. And then I can tell you for sure. Go to this other site. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you can go through that like butter. I'd watch that today. That could be an issue. That could be a real issue. Let's take questions because I'm sure you have a bunch of earnings stuff out there you guys are going to want to go through. I'm going to do this as fast as Alex, I'm going to give you an email. I'll post an email for you. It's possible that people overloaded the system. I had huge demand to get in. It's very possible it got overloaded last night to get in. What do you got, brother? This DD, you guys remember this from back in the day, right? So like, I don't know, man. I know everyone's getting all giddy for this thing again, and we're gonna 3D print everything, right? Or oh, this is DuPont. No, I don't know. Maybe I have nightmares. The other thing. Are they finally splitting things up? Is that what's doing it? I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're finally splitting it up. I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking of that 3D printing company and not DuPont. I would really have to listen to why it's doing what it's doing, John. And I've been, it's crazy because I've been blowing this off. People have been DMing me about this, like left and right. I've been blowing it off thinking that they're talking about something else. But Jesus, God. So yeah, there's something going on there, and that's huge volume for them, like enormous volume for them. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're finally splitting the company up, and that's what's doing it. And the low beta names right now, man, low beta that's just going to sit there. They're going to be all over that stuff, like all over it. So, 100%. It's interesting to say the least. I'd like to know more. You can get buried in these value traps, dude, like buried in them. So I'd just be careful. But you can XMTR. That's very solid breakout. Yeah, I mean, that's huge. If you can get over. See it? I mean, there's your open and you stop dead on it. So I'd make sure you got over there. Jeez. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. No, I don't like stuff that does that. If I can't stay up 50% on that bar, I have zero interest, man. Like zero, dude. Out of everything, I would like to see if DuPont's finally breaking themselves up. Multiple browsers. I wonder if you're overseas. Server error. It might have got overloaded. Let me see something here. Give me 1 second, buddy. Let's go into these banners. All right, so I'm going to let me just pop that in there. All right, so at the bottom of that, that's not going to work. Hold on. There you go. If you're on the wait list, you should be getting a letter shortly. There's the email. If you're having trouble getting in, he has the link to get in, and I'll just So use that. All right, let's just keep going here. So just email him. Just email him, Alex. I think the rebalancing of the Russell is a real thing. Yeah, I think it's a real thing, and I'd definitely be watching that. I would watch everything. To me, I don't know what's going on with RGTI that would make anybody think that they have to get in this. I think earnings on Monday will be a bloodbath. I'm short this. I mean, I short it through this. So, like, this is just, been a money printer from the short side. I didn't start up here. I started in here. So, like, the 270, 280. But, I think this thing goes back down to the 20s pretty easy. So, if you understand what these things are, look at this MSTY, MSTX, like these things are just toast, El Tosto. So, when they bid up, you just short them. It's just so easy, but maybe they squeeze, but I doubt it. This thing's just been a money printer. Every day it hits new lows, like every day. So MSTR, are you back down? Where are you now? 240. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a really big level for MSTR. So, but to get to it, yeah, man, I'd watch that stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be buying RGT. Like, guys, these companies make $1 million a quarter. Like, a sandwich shop does that. So, yeah, it's definitely, I know it's not baked in, Julian. Yeah, I saw that. That was actually this was actually on my list of names that when I went through it that just had such a great quarter. I really like the quarter. I don't know that I'm paying up for it here. I don't know that I'm paying up for it, but wow, what a great quarter. I would be careful. I'm very careful paying up for anything right now. But man, oh man, yeah, they crushed it. They're one of the only names that I really see when I start going through this stuff. I had a piece for you on this, dude. Hold on one second. Let me grab this. Where are you, Bam? I have this piece. I was reading this note from Goldman today. I'll show you what they said about it. Come on, Boomer, get it together. Big beat and guide above with quarter revenues 15% above the street. So they crushed 630, 670 versus consensus 561. Like, that's a beat, dude. Our guidance could expect more. Our guidance indicates we expect more than 20% sequential revenue growth, even before meaningful contributions of our two next growth engine OpEx switches. So we're already beating, and we expect the new product to do even better. Like, tell me you're a beast without telling me you're a beast. Like, you're a freaking beast, dude. The question becomes, is this the kind of market you want to look at it in? And that gets super interesting because now the market in and of itself is oversold. So do they start rewarding these companies now that we've gotten used to them not rewarding the companies, which is usually the suck salad flip, right? I would watch this super, super carefully. I'd be really interested to see this and to see what it's doing. So beforehand, they couldn't get in fast enough. How about after? How are they doing after hours? Yeah, they are buying the living bejesus out of it. Let's mock it up. Let's see what we can find out, what else we can find about it. But I do agree with this. When I was going through the notes, like, everyone was all over this thing. So you got a straight shot if you're over 215, and then the gamma flips. It goes positive. Wow. Okay. You can go. I mean, you have a lot of potential to move. I don't know, man. I would think that these people take their profits. What do you mean these people? The light people. So yeah, I mean, you have some room here, dude. Your call wall's not till, and man, they wanted to own it too. Like they married puts to it. Like your put wall was here. Wish I freaking saw this yesterday. I mean, when your put wall's there, like they're telling you, no, we're holding in the earnings. They're just marrying stock directly to it. Yeah, you have a lot of potential. You have a lot of potential there. So this goes. Like a lot. So I'd watch the open on it, but I could see why you'd be interested. I'm going to have to jump, guys. That's a great idea, Julian. Is it Julian or Bam? It's Bam, the guy that yelled at me. Was it worth waiting now? So angry, man. Into the nose, out to the mouth. Good morning from Japan. Bro, what are you guys doing last night? What are you guys doing? So angry last night. Anybody watch the Nikkei last night? I forgot to put that in there. All right, let's get rid of the bird. But, right, look at the drops. Now look at last night. Like, what do you guys are crazy. I was outside on my deck watching the moon, enjoying myself, popped in to see what was going on in Japan. There's 4%. Marked it off. Nice trade, though. And then he came right back and gap filled, but see where that leads us. You're already overbought. I don't know. Super angry last night. That's not great, by the way. The negative divergence. I've seen great before. It doesn't look like that. VTR. Guys, I'm going to have to jump. I'm sorry. That looks beautiful. I love moves like that. Moves like this are the best. They're literally the cat's pajamas. And I know people still say that. If you get a bar like that, right? Let's flip to it. Like this is what's so cool about these bars. Watch. And they always yell at me to put the other one in, but I'm not going to, even though they want me to, and they're right. If you look at this, see how everything's tight up here, and you see where the 78.6 is? You see how like you can't even get down to those levels? That means nobody wants to part with it. Like nobody's selling, nobody's locking in anything. That's really what you want to see. So I can't stress that enough. Like that's what you're looking for. I don't know anything about this company, bro. Like nothing, but that's what you're looking for, Jacob. Like that's perfect. Really is like perfect, dude. Like look at that. So I could see why you would have an interest in this. I have an interest in this, especially when you have like these decade bases. Like that stuff's cool. Like that's the kind of stuff that you're, and again, I don't know anything about it, but from a technical standpoint, it's really very impressive. This kind of move always gets me. Like when you have a move like that encapsulates so much, like don't sleep on them. You saw it with Crowd. Crowd did the same thing at the bottom and nobody wanted to go near it. We had another name the other day that just did it too. Like that's real. That's like real power. You want to watch OHI? Is that OHI? I don't know. These things block. Yeah, the managed care space is super interesting. I don't know enough about it. I know enough about it to talk unintelligently. Every day is another day to win, isn't it? I keep getting asked about this toast over and over again. I don't know anything about it. Good morning from New York. Good morning from Miami. I don't know, man. I like it. I think you have to have a very long-term outlook. I bought like this. I told people I had a very long-term outlook, and then they kept asking me about it. I think it's been like a year since I've been in the damn thing. Some of this stuff you really have to get you have to think about what it is you're trying to do. Like, and I'll have like long-term outlooks on stuff where I'll just buy it and sit with it because I know what the guy's going to do. Like Hertz, I own. And I've owned Hertz since here, and I trimmed, got out, and I still have my core, and I'm not doing anything with it. So it's the same thing. Like, you got to know why you own RR. RR is getting first crack at, the robotics chips out of NVIDIA. They already signed the contract. So, it's not like we're going to hit Skynet tomorrow. So you got to settle in. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to go back to $1.80 with that kind of stuff, Kev. And if you're not, you're going to have a problem. I don't know enough about this company to talk about it. I really don't. It's not my kind of chart. It's not really of interest to me. It just isn't. And it doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It just is not something that's very appealing to me. When I can do stuff like this, right? Like, it's just not appealing to me because I can't get in and out of the damn thing. And so I just don't want to be in that position. Like, I don't want to put myself in that position. So BA, I wouldn't go near. Although, here's the thing with BA, dude. We should touch base on this. You cracked 200, right? Hold on 1 second. You're cracking 200, and the strong dollar is hard on industrials. So the industrials actually will come down as the dollar gets stronger. So, like, one of the easiest trades to do, watch. So just so you understand this, it's not company specific. As the dollar strengthens, it'll start outperforming the industrial space because people buy more goods from the US, right? When do they buy? When they're cheaper. Like, when does everyone say, oh, I'm going to go to Europe? When the dollar is stronger, because they get more for their money. Yay. So if the dollar is getting stronger and they're selling gold, which they are, then, which is crazy to me because they're saying, oh, we've got less uncertainty now. I don't know, dude, not with that Supreme Court case. But so what happens is they sell the industrials. When that starts to happen, you'll see the industrials literally have stopped. Like, here's July 28th, right, bro? Hold on. I mean, like, that's not really a coincidence when this stuff starts happening like this. It's not going to be exact, but you'll see it like September 17th. And then you'll kind of go through it. October, September 17th. Where is it? Like, right in there. So it's like, it's not really that crazy that this is leveling off at the same time that this is doing that. So, and it's not exact, but there's definitely something to it. So no, I wouldn't be going near that. I'd be on the other side of it, dude. The Wayfair makes a lot of sense. And so does RH if they get through these tariffs. Like, if there's no tariffs, man, those things are going to skyrocket. LEU tonight. That's good. Good morning from Phoenix. Good morning from Miami. No, I'm looking at going long, Meta, actually. I'm on the other side of that, bro. This is not an environment that I think is super, super cheap, dude. Like, do I add to long-term positions? Yeah. I compartmentalize the accounts. I find great value in that. If you're going to try to swing trade or long-term trade something, bro, and you got it in your day trading account and you realize that you're going to be looking at 70-something bars on a 5-minute, you're going to find a reason to sell. So, it depends. I did it yesterday. I caught myself doing it yesterday. I wanted to own Ferrari for a long period of time. I really wanted to own Ferrari. And then yesterday I did it in the wrong account because I was just fast. And, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to, where is it? I'll show you it. I'll show you exactly what I did. And I'm watching this. I'm like, oh man, this thing's going to, 100%, this thing's going to roll here if it breaks there. So I bought it here for long-term. I wound up getting out here. I know, wow, poor me. But I want to be in it because I think it'll go back to 500, but I bought it in the wrong account. So then I'm watching it all day and I'm like, I'll just take it. And then I'll buy it back tomorrow. Now, classic example of why I compartmentalize. Now I'm dealing with that suck salad up 7. Now what do I tell myself? Now the next conversation is, I'll just wait for it to pull back and then it'll go to 420. So you got to compartmentalize that stuff if you're able to, if you have the ability to, dude. But this is not enough of a drawdown. This is nothing. This is a drawdown for ants. I think Cava is 0. Good morning from Athens. Good morning from Miami. No, I believe you. We'll figure it out. I'll get you in. Can you email, or can you please email that dude? So I already told Michael to look out. You'll see the email on the bottom. Please email him. I'm going to make sure that I get your name too. I'll go and try and find you later. But you really want to email him, because the idea of me doing back office stuff, like, you just don't want to see that. It's not good. It's not good stuff. So I'll make copies to the people that had problems. The demand to get in was much bigger than I thought. But I knew there was demand, but I think the server shut down to get in. Unbelievably careless and disrespectful to your viewers. All right, well, then you're gone. Now we're going to put you in timeout. Now you're in timeout. So angry. Why are they so angry? I'm trying. Today was insane, dude. The amount of stuff to get through. You want me to come prepared or not? And you got some good tunes. You're listening to some music. Relax. Get a cup of coffee. That's an awful, awful joke. That joke's so bad. This is actually the one I think has the best chance of getting things done. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you want to get in healthcare or not. Because if you get into healthcare, like, here's my problem with healthcare. Let's say you get into healthcare, right? Then all of a sudden the market bottoms and you're playing defense. Like, this is why I never got into, the market's weak, let's go buy the XLP names. Because then I'm in the XLP names. And then if they start rolling over as well, I lose money on the XLP side, right? And then when tech starts moving, then I got to rotate back in tech. I just rather get into cash. I don't live in Brickell anymore. I would look at other buildings. It depends on what you're looking for. Panorama is nice. Brickell's nice. Brickell's very nice. You can walkable. I don't live in Brickell anymore. So, but you might want to look at other buildings. It's a really busy building. If you're looking for like the whole Instagram thing, there it is. You know what I mean? But there's much better buildings there. It depends on what you want to spend too, dude. Like, I don't know you. So you know what I mean? I don't know what you want to spend. And you might be looking for that. But it's a pretty busy building. But like Flatiron, that's a great building. Yeah, I think the home builders look good. I know, dude, it's crazy. Just the email right below, Alex. What's up, G? APP is pretty aggressive here, dude. It's below. Just look below, JC. You'll see the concierge email right there. Trying to get through all this. I know, dude. That's what I thought too. I've been blowing people off, bro. I've been blowing people off. I've been blowing people off going, I'm not buying that 3D printing company. And then I typed it in today. I'm like, oh, DuPont. What's up, Paul? I think Treasury bonds are a real problem. And I think that's what you're dealing with here. I'm trying to stay longer because I started so late. I think Treasury is a real problem. I think it's a real freaking issue here, dude. And I don't think people are getting that he's probably going to lose that court case. And it's going to create a real problem. So people seem to think like, oh, no, he's going to definitely win. I don't know that. I think he's going to lose it personally. I could be wrong. What do you mean those put people? GOF closed, $18 a share, monthly dividend trading at $13 a share. I don't know anything about that one, GOF. I don't know. It's 13 for a reason, bro. Oh, I do. Absolutely. I mean, the US made a fortune off of this. Like they killed it off this trade. It's crazy how much money they made off of that. Like they made so much money off that trade. It's crazy. I thought the funniest thing was that Besant started trolling them when people were like laughing at him. Wait a second one here. Thank you, British guy. Yeah, totally. What a great investment that turned out to be for us. Well, I'm in the US. I'm concerned, Gene. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about that now. I'll tell you why I'm concerned. I know people are like, but it doesn't have anything to do with chimichangas. When Apollo stepped away from this because of the consumer, it made me really concerned about this deal. I actually closed my position. I've had a position in this since 17, 18 bucks. I closed the whole thing yesterday. I mean, I'll just be blunt about it. And if I gave up $3, $4 in upside, I don't care. I got really concerned when I saw that because private equity does not walk away from deals like that, dude. They just don't do that, man. And when they walked away from that, that's like a big tell for me that, hey, I could be next. And your whole life is avoiding these bombs, right? Like you don't want to get the QURE bomb. You don't want to get pizza bombed. Like you just don't. Like you just got to avoid them. Good morning from Bermuda. Bermuda is beautiful. The only thing about Bermuda was that I can't have a car there. I like the S&P here, but I think you're oversold. Dude, I'm like sitting on my deck smoking a cigar. Good morning from planet Earth. Good morning from Earth. All right, what else we got? Oh, haters gonna hate. I get it. People are like, you said 8:15. It's not 8:15. Like, I get it, dude. I mean, I do get it. I do try to do that. What's up? What's going on, Lynn? They're just so angry. just take a break, man. Go watch an inferior stream for 5 minutes or go read a nice book. Get a cup of coffee. Flying car people. Bro, tell them to fix the Cybertruck first. Cybertruck can't hold drywall, bro. It can't it cannot hold drywall. Who's going to want that truck? But you're trading valuations on companies that don't have revenue. Oh, I don't think they're going to have a verdict today, bro. I don't know, man. It's going to take some time. You're just going to get the thing there. That's what I'm saying. Like all of a sudden you're out there. You're all happy. I got Papa John's. Like you're all happy. Here comes Apollo. Wham. You're like, ugh. One stop that I absolutely love. Stop. Oh, stock. What do I absolutely love? I think people are crazy not to be buying Argentina. I mean, you should do what you're comfortable with, but for the next 2 years, you have a mandate in Argentina, and now he's completely tied to the dollar. So I think that that's absolutely crazy. What could happen in Argentina? So it was funny. I was talking to one of the guys in the room, and then I got to jump. I was talking to one of the guys in the room yesterday, and I'm like, I have to buy Argentinian stocks for stability because the U.S. is such a suck salad right now. So like, we don't have the government open. They're talking about shutting airports down. Like, it's crazy. So, they got one more Democrat yesterday to jump ship. They need like 6 more. I don't know. I think eventually they're going to just go around them, I think. But who knows? And then on top of that, the tariffs. Like if the government has to write a check, I don't know how that's going to go for the bond market. I think it's going to be really bad for the bond market. And I think people are going to panic. So I really think go from there. When you look at the market, Man, go look at the Mannheim auctions on Cybertrucks and Plaids. It's bad. Yeah, I don't think you hear it till January. I actually think they ask them to fast track it. I do. I think they ask them to fast track it because the whole market's going to be waiting for it. I got to jump, guys. I'm super late. Trade to win. Make good choices.